I didn't get to hear any Tiffany's comments. No, don't worry about it.
She talked about her double.
Next time.
Ah,
Get that knee up.
I know.
Get compression. I'm gonna send Jericho over here.
Man. Oh. Matthew, do you have a question for Becky?
We are recording. First question right here, right?
Hey, Adrian from Lingo, Dice City Sports. It seems like you took a pretty hard fall there in the third quarter. Just wondering, how are you physically feeling, and did you feel like it had an effect on your game throughout the rest?
No, it didn't affect me at all. It's a part of the game. I feel good. I feel great, actually. We had a good couple of days of just resting back at home. Sleeping in my own bed is always good. So yeah, I feel good. Right now is a time where even if I felt bad, no one would care. So why not feel good? And so yeah, my team rallied around me, and I'm just excited that we got the win.
Question for both of you. Congratulations on clinching a playoff berth once again. What was that moment like to kind of see it on the screen at the very end and hear the crowd chanting as you clinched that berth?
Oh, I didn't see it on the screen. We just heard when we were walking into the locker room that we clinched. And that's a big deal for us, obviously, with the season that we're having now. We always love some good news. But the job's not done. But it is good to kind of have that, not decompressed moment, but just a moment of like, okay, no, now we know at least we're there. So step by step, we're gonna get there. So yeah, it's been a good moment.
For Tiffany, this is your first double here. This is your first double since 2018. Earning the start tonight, doing it against your former team as well. I mean, talk about the moment here and just, everything that really went to the final result and just, just the moment, how it feels.
It just felt good to get a win, first of all. And then not only I was excited for the double. It's really hard to come by, like you said, it's 2018, but just doing it here with this new team that I'm on and that game, you already said specifics of, who we were playing. It just feels good. And to get it in this way with my team rallying around me and showing me the love that they showed me, it felt really good.
Asia, 26 points and 15 rebounds. I think a lot of people have started some meeting into you showing up to games in a white t-shirt. Is that something that you're gonna continue, or is there something that would, I guess, make you wanna change that going forward?
I have to want to put on clothes. And right now, where I am, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I deserve to put on clothes. That just adds stress to my life. Even though I have a lovely stylist, Marty, who does her thing 100%. I know she's like, Asia, put on these damn clothes. But right now, my main focus is just getting wins and putting them together and stringing them together. So if we start getting a couple wins under our belt, I might pop out, a little show, a little something. But right now, I am digging in the bottom of my t-shirt drawer, and I'm putting on a shirt and I'm dipping out. But that's pretty much it. I'm really just not digging the whole tunnel walks right now. It's my life. Thank you. But my mom is getting mad at me because they're not ironed. But who irons me up?
Who irons white tee?
Period. Shout out to them franchise boys.
Not the best shooting night, obviously, for KP tonight, but it seems like all of her field goals kind of came in clutch moments. How does it kind of bring into words how valuable she is to this team, but how she always kind of finds herself in those big spots for this group?
I mean, I think everybody knows KP's value to this team, very important. She's been in this franchise for years, bringing her everything. And if she struggled tonight, but at the end of the day, like you said, when we needed a bucket, she was there to give it to us. And the whole night she stayed true to who she was and making sure that she didn't get down, that she wasn't making her shots. She stayed with it and she came through in the clutch for us. So that just shows her growth, and it shows that she's trying to move in the right direction.
For Asia, talking about, clinching the playoff spot here, this win, going forward into this race into the postseason, does the pressure come off a little? Does it go on a little bit more, I guess? Does it stay the same? I'm just assessing that.
Oh yeah, pressure's gonna always be around us. We're the defending champs. Everyone wants to see what we're gonna do. Some people want us to fail, some people want us to succeed. So the pressure's gonna always be there. But within our locker room, we lean on each other now more than ever. This is the time where you have to lock in to one another, whether that's in-game adjustments or just talks amongst your teammates off the court. Like these are the moments that you need to value the most because it's go time. Like end of September is rocking and rolling time. So the pressure could be there. The outside noise is going to always be there, but I'm gonna make sure that on my half, what I can do for my team is make sure that we are always close knit in what we do and understand that we have more than enough in the locker room to take care of business when the time comes. So that's gonna be my main thing throughout the rest of this season and then postseason, and then we see what happens.
Gonna jump to Zoom really quick, go Asia, Asia, and then the guys.
Hi, ladies. Congratulations on the win tonight. I noticed that Wilson, you had 26 points, Hayes 20 points, Plum 18 points. You guys had a much better performance than the last two games. But what would you say was the toughest thing to be able to try and stop Gray and Howard tonight? Because they were putting on some pressure for you guys tonight as well.
Leash and Ryan, they're some of the best guards, and I'm not just saying this because they're my friends, but they're some of the best guards in this league, and so it's always great when we could just make it hard for them because they're great players, so they're going to make tough shots, they're going to make their shots, they're going to get to their spots, but if we can slow them down just a little bit, we can count that as a win. So I think we did a pretty decent job on them tonight, but at the same time, like sometimes you got to pick your battles and you live with what you live with, but I think we did a pretty decent job on them today, considering that they're pretty good at getting to their spots.
Nikias, and then we will let the players go.
Hey y'all, congrats on the win. For you, Asia, you've talked a lot about how important the defense is for you guys, how important the communication is. A lot of switching on and off the ball for y'all tonight. Just from your view, how did you feel the defense was tonight?
Okay, 72 points is pretty good. So I feel like we're pretty good on the defensive end. Yeah, we held them to 20. Our third quarters are a little shaky, and we kind of held them to 20 in the third quarter. So that's pretty good. But we still have work to do. We're not perfect. But at the same time, I'm very pleased at our defensive mindset today. And we're just gonna keep growing. Keep what Becky always says, bottle it up and open it when we need it. And that's gonna be the next game. So I think on the defensive end, we did a decent job.
Thank you.
Yeah. See
I
you.
didn't get to hear any Tiffany's comments.
No, don't worry about it.
She talked about her double.
Next time, get that knee up.
I know.
Get compression. I'm gonna send Jericho over here.
Man. Matthew, do you have a question for Becky?
I can start. Becky, congrats on the win. I wanted to know what was the reason for obviously you listed it as a rest. What did you see where you thought you needed to rest Jackie tonight, and getting a performance like this from Tiff in her replacement? How important are performances like this gonna be from the others as we go down the stretch here?
I mean, for Jackie, it was, she wanted to play, I wouldn't let her. Because sometimes these athletes, you have to help save them from themselves at times. And I know she had some aches and pains. And I just thought the rest, because she really didn't get any, over the break. And then when you come back already kind of dinged up a little bit, it starts to compound. So I made the executive decision to sit her. She's not happy. She's still not happy with me. But that's all right. We'll get through. And there just isn't another time to get her rest. So I felt like this was the only time where, we get the 2 days after Dallas. She gets today and she's gonna get tomorrow to try to get some of her burst back. She's hurting, and I just said, sit. That's all that was.
Two for you, if I can. Headed into this game, you were asked about the possibility of clinching a playoff berth, and you were like, I do not care. We just need to focus on the game. Does that perspective change at all now that it's done and out of the way? Is there any situation where you care about the standings?
I mean, not really. I mean, we have been better on the road than we have at home. I mean, if you want to look at, keep it positive. I mean, I feel just like we have so much better basketball in front of us. And so we have to pull and grind and execute and You know, it's been a climb this year. Like I told them, y'all want to get on the mountaintop, but there's no chairlift. You got to climb. And so when we're taking steps, and to me, it's about, it's not so much about the losses, it's can we learn from them and do better? And we have to have carryover when there's correction. So, I mean, great, we're in the playoffs, great, but I don't care. I care about Phoenix next.
And then secondly, Chelsea Gray, after the Wings game, you kind of talked about Chelsea's confidence increasing a lot today. We saw some crazy stuff, like there was almost a generational like behind the back pass. How do you
And then a smoked layup, I'm gonna get Sid for that all day. I'm gonna get her.
But I guess how have you kind of seen that grown, and what's that process like coaching her through this return as it stands now?
Look, I think she's doing great. At the end of the day, it's never been her athleticism, it's been her mind and her eyes for the game and her feel for the game, her energy and joy for her teammates. And tonight, you know, she didn't shoot very well, but she had timely ones. She hit big ones. And so that's why you roll with her, right? Like she maybe missed, I think she was over going into, and then finally hit a shot and then hits a big one. One at a time that we needed one. So that's really who she is. She likes those moments. We've all been witness to it. And it's just nice to see her getting back to, you know, that confident and able to execute and able to jump and all those things that you need to do to play basketball. She's doing great. When you consider, you know, surgery, she's not even a year out of surgery, not even close. So she's doing wonderful.
Coach, as we were walking down the hall, we wondered if Asia Wilson's 25-15
5 and 5.
0 turnovers game had ever been done before. It's been done once by Asia Wilson against Atlanta on July 12th of this year, when she had 33 points, 18 rebounds, 5 blocks, 0 turnovers. So.
Yeah, I mean, that woman is something else. She's cut different. The turnovers, her care for the ball amongst, not only she in traffic all the time, she gets double and triple teamed. And I mean, I don't know, she had like Spider-Man hands or something, like the ball just sticks. She doesn't cough that thing up easily. And she's just, to me, since I've been a part of this league, which is 99, you know, little hiatus in the NBA for 8 years, but come back to this league. I don't know if we've seen a season like she's doing right now. I mean, somebody can look up some stats, but I can't recall somebody who has more steals, blocks, assists, points, and rebounds than turnovers. And it's not even close. It's not like, oh, she barely has a few more steals and assists, or a few more turnovers, or a few more blocks than like it's substantially more. She's just a beautiful player to watch.
Becky, too, if possible, you took a timeout early in that second quarter with the team up 29-6. To that point, Atlanta had shot 50% from the field. They shot 31% the rest of the way. Did it ever really feel like the team settled in on defense?
You know, we were kind of figuring it out on the fly. I thought like what we adjusted and looked at halftime helped. True to form of our opponents, they go in at halftime and get all over their players to hit the boards. And they did, and the offensive rebound started to become a little bit of an issue for us again in that second half. So it's just basic stuff that we need to clean up. But we were mixing in some defenses, which we haven't done as much of. Because we haven't been solid in our base a lot of times. So unless you're really airtight in your base, it's hard to throw junk out there. So we were mixing things up a lot, just trying to make looks difficult, and then we got to rebound. That's another problem with junk or off, you know, playing his own or doing what mixing up defenses is the blocking out part. I still feel like we have a lot of room for growth there. I was super excited to see Tip have 10 boards. Like that's huge for our guards to get in there and give Asia some help. And then, you know, just everybody chipping in and doing their part. It's not about who gets the rebound. It's about us getting the rebound.
And then you kind of just spoke about it a second ago, but one home game over the next 6 outings. Does that change the method or philosophy trying to build some consistency to close the season?
No, like I said earlier, I mean, we've been crap at home, so we're happy to get these home wins. But the road has been better for us in ways than our normal home cooking. That being said, I think it's, you know, I think we're 1 or 2 raindrops away from making it flood. We just gotta kind of like get through. It's like that final push through until we start really kind of flowing. And so it can seem kind of like stuck in mud at times, feels that way. I know it does for me and for them. So that dig down factor of being solid on both ends of the floor when it gets like that, that's really what I'm looking for at the end of the day. Home, away, I'm looking for solid, up to standard Aces basketball.
Before we finish up in the room, let's jump to Mike Vogel.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned what Asia is doing. I mean, you actually played against the 3 players who were 3-time MVPs with Swoops and LJ and Lisa Leslie. And I just wonder when you look at historically comparing, Asia has a chance and probably right now is by far the front runner of joining them as a 3-time MVP. What that means historically for a player to do something like that.
I mean, I guess history is history, right? And I think I just don't want to. I felt like last year, you know, y'all know how I feel about last year. Just crazy efficient. She's been doing this for 2 years in a row now, just crazy efficient. And it's just I just don't want it to be lost on people how special this woman is. And what she's doing, like you may not see it. You know, you're talking about 3 players over what is this league? You know, 27, 28 years old, 3 players. In conversation for a 3rd MVP. And ain't even in her 30s yet. And every year that I've worked with her, I mean, I remember my first year, flew her down to San Antonio to get a workout. And we go in and we're working out, and I'm like, wow, you can really shoot like deep. And she was like, yeah. I was like, all right, well, I never really see you shoot that. I was like, but as soon as you develop that, like you're gonna be unguardable, because if you get that consistent, she's so fast, and her second jump might be quicker than her first jump. Just getting off the floor, she just becomes a whole handful. And then, you know, come back the next year, and now I'm like asking her to bring the ball up more. Like everything that I've ever asked her to do, she just goes and does it and makes it so look easy. It is not easy what she's doing. She makes it look easy. And that's when you know you have a special player. Steph Curry shooting threes, he makes it look easy. That stuff is difficult that he's doing. And I think it's a similar, just special generational talent.
Thank you.
Well, last question with that.
Coach, a lot of fans were asking about the back of your jacket. Anything special in regards to the details in the back of your jacket?
Not really. It means living or alive. Living. No, I just liked it.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Becky.
Thanks, guys. Undefeated in Becky Hammon.